So what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this, making sure that it's only the head we're seeing, and it's always good as well to make sure that all the characters are selected except for the cameras and are actually frozen correctly, making sure that all their translate, rotation and scale are set to 0. So I'm going to focus on just these viewports, making sure that everything is saved correctly. Select and also delete all histories, and optimize the scene if it's necessary to make sure that everything is set properly. I'm going to select this camera and make sure that it's locked so that it will be easy enough to select. Then I am going to I think it's this camera that I need to select. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that cam. I'll make sure that it's selected and it's also locked. Okay, then I'm going to be switching back to my perspective view. But okay, right now I'm in the perspective viewport. I can close the outline editor and do the same thing to this. Then with the face selected, I'm going to make sure that my menu shelf is set to modeling. Then on the UV menu, I'm going to click on UV editor. When this opens up, I'll select the face or the mesh as scattered in my UV editor. Okay, I'm going to right click and hold to switch to the UV shell. Then I'm going to right click, shift, right click and hold on the mouse. Then I'm going to go to the planar mapping setting. When it shows up, I'm going to make sure that the camera is what is checked. Then projector is click on or is applied. So this allows me to see the face in the same position as how I'm seeing it in the perspective, and I'll see that same position right there in the UV editor. So that's what is currently happening. So what I'm going to do next is make sure this is saved as well. Then I'll now start doing the cutting here and there. The first thing I think, or the first part I think I need to be cutting out of this, or probably let me right click and hold. Then I am going to go into the objects menu. I would isolate the face, right click and hold again. I'm going to switch to the neck area. I think I need to select this part of the neck. Double click, go around to be sure that everything is selected. Shift right click and hold. I'm going to cut that part of the neck. I think that is done. And for the ear, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do the same thing around the ear, making sure that I cut close to the ear area. And I also have my symmetry turned on. So shift right click and hold. Then I cut. Another part that I think I need to cut, I'm saving while I'm doing this. Another part that I need to be cut right here is the inner part of the eye. I just selected that rather. Shift right click and hold, and I'm going to cut. Those two have also been cut. I can select these guys and move them around. I think there might be something. Okay, sorry, I have this turned on. So I'm going to select the ear as well. I had the constraints set to edge earlier, so that seems to be what caused that to not move when I was trying to move I think that was the eye area that I was moving. Then I'm going to shift right click and go to the component level. I'm going to select the lip area again. But I did the selection from the inside, so I think I've selected the area where I do not want to get selected. So I think I should select that part. So I'm going to shift right click in my UV editor, and I think that part is also cut out. So I'm going to be saving while I'm doing that. So this front part of the neck area, I'm going to double click to get that area selected. And in fact, I think I should be doing that from the back. Just these two areas. If you're selecting from here, you have to ensure that you select the edges in which you need to select. If I select one and I double click on the other, it goes round, it goes straight up. That's why it's always better sometimes to do your selection from here. You get when you do the double click in here, I select one and double click on the next, it will not pick the other edges because I'm only selecting from the cut part of the mesh. You get. But if I'm doing the selection from here, if I select one edge and I double click on the next edge, it's going to go through. It's going to follow the loop and go through to get all the edges that are visible here. Is going to get them selected. But you notice that some edges are not visible here. So I only had about 2 edges to select here. If I select one and I double click on the next, it's only going to select the ones that are visible. I just hope that is understood. So what I intend to do now is to shift right click and hold and I'll cut. I'm going to be saving while I do that. Then I'm going to select these. I had the software crashing earlier when I did this. So I did that earlier and the software got crashed. I can't really say why. So I'm moving around now. I won't see anything, any error so far. I'm going to select one of these edges, but before doing that, I'm going to turn off my symmetry. So I'm just going to select probably this area, making sure that I'm not selecting the edges that are connected or that is connected to the extreme edge. If I select these and I try to straighten this up, this is the only thing that gets straightened out. But I want an edge that is not connected to the edge that sits outside. Just so that is understood. When I do this now, or probably when I click on this, it tries to straighten. If I select this one that is connected to the extreme edge here, if I'm seeing this white one as the extreme edge, I'm calling them the extreme edge because they are the one that are the last part of the mesh there. So when I click on this, it straightens just that. I intended to straighten this. Okay, it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it might not work. So the point is that you can select any one of these and just click on straighten shell. It uses it to like help straighten your shell. And there are times in which when you select any edge that seems to be connected, or is it me that is getting it wrong? Probably it's here. If I select this and I try to straighten it, oh wow, it still works. It still works. I thought it doesn't work before, but it's working. And you can also use the shell rather to straighten this. I selected the shell, the UV shell. I right click and hold. I select the UV shell. I grab everything and I select my rotation too. Then I rotate this. Let me save. So the neck is settled. For the inner part of the mouth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the center point around here of the click. After the clicking, I just hope I've selected the center point. You can also check that. You can go in and try to see, or probably another way of doing that, I can see that I didn't grab it from the center point. I think this edge here or the edges here are the one in the center. Another way of actually isolate, you can also actually isolate that part. If I select the shell from here, from the UV editor, and I come into my viewport here, if I do Control 1, it can still help me isolate it. Do you see that? I reviewed and I isolated it again. So I've selected this part. I just double click in order to get a loop selection there. I just want to explain this better. So then I'm going to come back here. You can do the same selection here too. Shift right click and hold and do a cut there. I'm going to be using that cut to spread out this. Do you get? We're going to be using that cut to do spread on that. Something just happened. Something just happened. What just happened is that because I did my selection here and because I didn't mark the region where I want the selection to end, so it went ahead to even select parts of the head from outside. Do you understand? If I had done the selection from here, it would have been easier and it would only select the visible area around here. I just hope this is understood. If I review back now, if I review this mesh, let me select this face together with this one now. Let me isolate just the two of them from here. You see what I'm saying is that when I made my selection with the edge or using the edge, you see when I double click from inside, it went outside to even grab part of this head, which I do not want to be added to the selection. So that's the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this again, double click on it from here, and I'm going to Control 1 to reveal, Control 1 to just isolate that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to indicate the area where I need to select from. I selected that, and I think I'm seeing that one as the one that is that seems to be in the center. Then I double click on this one next, and I'm going to look for another one that seems to be in the same loop. I'm going to double click on that, then I'll just click on this. So by so doing, I want to believe that it's only this area that I've selected. Shift right click and hold, and I'm going to do a cut. I'm going to save again quickly. Then I'm going to select these, and I'm going to unfold it right in here. Let me save. Shift right click and hold. I'm going to go to the shell, and I'll move this shell around here. And then I would select one of the edges in here, and I'm grab these. Then I'm going to straighten this up. Then I think I might have to select the UV and probably rotate this. Just rotate these upward. Sometimes I use these lines to check whether this is actually straight enough. So the next one is the ear. Let me do Control 1 to reveal. Shift right click on hold. Select just the face. No, I think I need to select the whole of the face, including this ears. Well, I have to turn on my symmetry. Control 1 right here. Control S, Control S. So for the ear, what I just need, what I think I need to do to spread this ear out, a whole lot of different things, yeah. I think I'm going to be doing some cutting from here. Shift right click and hold. I'm going to be selecting this. We'll be selecting this. Okay. Let's start from here to this place. Okay. I'm going to rotate to be sure that shift right click and hold. I'm going to cut. I'm going to select those, make sure that they are saved, spread them all out. That's for the ear. Okay. Okay, while they're still selected, I'm just going to rotate them. I think this one is, let me turn off the symmetry to actually check it. This one is the left ear, and this one is the right ear. So I'm going to grab the two of them and push them up. Okay, I think they still need to be rotated a bit. I'm using a line to check. So slide them up. So now I have this ready. Let me save. So it's remaining the head now. It's remaining the head. You can also do isolation here by using this button here. You use this button to do isolation. So what I'm going to do next is just the face that is remaining. So for the face, I'm going to go about selecting the face is that I'm going to be starting from here, and I'm going to be stopping it right here. Just made a connection there. I just made a selection rather. Then I'm going to be starting from here, and I'm going to be double clicking right here. I think probably right here. So I have another selection right there. So with all this selection made, I'm just going to make a cut right there. Okay, just make a cut into that part of the head. Then I'm going to select the UV, make sure that everything is saved, and I'm going to unwrap the face. I'm going to unfold the face rather. I just unfold the face. This is the face. Then I'm going to select this one right here. I'm going to straighten this out. Then sometimes what I do is that I optimize this, And if this optimization doesn't give me what I want, you can also still unfold again to help you spread out everything. So now that I have this, let me see, you can also save, and let me be sure that everything is nicely folded, rather, not wrapped, folded. I think we're still seeing some coiling here. So what we can do to that is that is coming from the inner part of the eye. That was the essence of actually cutting out this much, the inner parts of the eye. So what we can do is we can still cut a bit more. I can go to the edge, turn on the symmetry. You can either turn on the symmetry here or there. So I'll double click right here, or probably here. Let's double click right there, shift right click and hold, and do another cut. Let me see where I'm cutting for this time. From the I don't want to be really Ctrl Z to go back in time. Let's select from here. Let's see the area where we selected from. Then I'm going to cut from there. Then I'm going to select these UVs, Ctrl S to make sure that those areas are saved. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this back to this place. Shift right click. Let me be sure of what I've selected. I'm going to double click right here. And immediately you double click on one hand, you will notice that any area that seems to be part of that would also get selected, or will also get highlighted, like the case we have right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and hold down the shift key, then I'll click on move and sew, so it has been sewed back to its position. So I'm going to select the two of them, I'm going to save, then unfold them properly. So they've been unfolded. You can like do some relax if you want to, or sometimes I can also click on optimize to help me optimize this. Another thing again I do is that I would turn off the symmetry. I'll select this guy. You can do some rotation because I don't believe it's facing the proper position. Oh, it's this one. So we have this. I'm going to turn it around. So now we have this one here. Okay, so we can lay out this. We can lay out this now. I can select these shift, more than the shift key, then I'll right click and hold. I can do a layout. You can lay out these along view. You can lay it out along V, but I like doing the two. So lay them out around these two guys. So we have this. We have this. So basically that is for the face. The face is done quickly. This is the neck, this is the face, this is the neck, these are the ear, these two are the eyes, the inner part of the eyes, and we have the mouth, we have the face. So this can be saved out quickly. This can be saved out. This can be saved out. Another thing you can do here is that, see, I can grab these guys. This is kind of funny, but I can move them out, grab these ones. But if I use one that are symmetrical, I can grab this and I'll move it down right here. Then I'm going to turn on something here. They call it, wow, I just got a crash there.